Hi guys, it's Cindy here from Hooked on Crafts. Today we are going to be making a few cards with the Simon Says Stamp October kit. Now I was really excited for this kit because it has a ton of stuff in here that I have never used before. I'm just going to briefly go through the contents of the kit. We had 3 alcohol inks. Now I have never got to play with the alcohol inks before, so I was pretty excited about that. I did go out and buy some blending solution, and I bought 3 additional bottles of alcohol ink. Originally I wanted to make a purple card, and you'll see a little bit later that didn't quite work out, but I might give it a go again. I have also never used the alcohol lift ink. Of course that's brand new, and I've never done any foiling, so I was pretty excited for this kit. We also got we did 3 of the pre-printed cards that you can do foiling on, and I was excited, so I did go out and buy a cheap laminator from Walmart. It was Scotch brand, cost me 20 bucks. Here's the stamp kit. It is absolutely beautiful. It's sketched flowers. Here's our example sheet, our inspiration sheet, and then our 3 pieces of cardstock in, I believe it's peacock yellow and some orange. I'm not sure the exact color. So you see I start out wearing plastic gloves because I did not want to get this alcohol ink all over my hands, and I had probably binge watched about 4 hours of different YouTubers using alcohol inks to see what I needed to do. So I'm kind of just jumping right in here, putting the blending solution on and then just adding my inks. And you'll see me get the straw out and blow it. This ink dried a lot faster than what I thought it would. I kind of was prepared for it to be a little more fluid. Maybe I didn't add enough blending solution. I'm not sure. But I was having fun nevertheless. And you see me just add away. I'm going to show you 3 or 4 panels before I move on to the cards, guys, because you probably get tired of watching everybody add their alcohol ink backgrounds. But I will show you a few of them that I did. And I just keep adding away until I'm satisfied with it, adding blending solution, more ink, blowing it with my straw. And then once I like where my card is at, I kind of let it dry a little bit. I wanted to try the foiling, and you have to let it dry. It has to be tacky, and you see me here, I still have my gloves on. It's hard to tell if it's tacky when you have gloves on, so and I'm being really chintzy with my foiled papers because I wanted to make them go as far as they could. And you can see now the foil is starting to pick up onto the ink, and it is absolutely stunning when the foils come off. I love this effect so much, and I did it on each and every panel just because it was so pretty. I mean, it's hard to see on camera, but I will lift it up. You can kind of see it though, that the foil is taking. So that was my first panel, and then I'm jumping right into my next panel because yes, I'm going to do all 6 panels. I just cut my 3 sheets into half and made 6 card panels. The extra kit that I bought had brown in it. I knew I wanted to do some fall kind of themed cards. So I kind of wanted like a sunflower look with the brown in the bottom corner and then going out to spreading out with the yellows and the oranges, because I just thought that would be really pretty. So you're going to see me try to do that here. I do like how this one turned out. The first one I wasn't crazy about, but yeah, I liked how this one turned out. It's really hard not to cover the whole panel in ink. It takes a lot of restraint, but this one I did manage to save one little corner because I just thought that was kind of a cool effect. So I didn't on the rest of them though, just so you know, I just wanted to cover all of it because I thought it was just fun. I was having a lot of fun playing with the inks. I love multimedia stuff. I love painting. This is my jam. So I was having a lot of fun with this. Now you can see I've taken my gloves off because I wanted to see if it was getting tacky. And at first it wasn't. Now don't rub the foil with your fingernail. Rub it with like the fleshy part of your finger And you'll see it finally does start to get tacky enough where it'll start actually sticking. You can see in the top right hand corner that one piece of foil. I used almost every last little bit of foil on that piece because, again, I did not want to waste any of it. So I'm having a lot of fun. You can see I finally got it right where it needs to be. The foil is really sticking to some parts. And again, I just love this effect. It's so pretty. So I just keep adding foil. As long as it is taking foil, I am adding the foil because I love that effect. So if I could get more to stick, I was going to get more to stick. And then I finally decided that was enough. And then I'm on to card number 3, or panel number 3, I should say. And this one is kind of a hot mess, I won't lie. I, again, was trying to get a purple. I wanted a purple color, and so that's why I wanted the red. Red and blue should make purple, which it does make purple, but it's such a deep, dark purple. It almost looks black, and you will see it starts to turn to mud right away. And then I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this panel? And so I just keep adding stuff. Now, orange and blue will make brown, and I was afraid it was going to turn out black and brown, honestly. So you see me kind of working with it, and I just keep adding the solution. The solution kind of makes it a little bit lighter. I did not have any of the 91% alcohol at the time, so I couldn't try that. So you just see me experimenting and playing. And again, it's just a hot mess. It turned into mud. This is my least favorite panel. But you'll see in the end, I kind of just keep working it until I'm okay with it. I'm trying tilting it. Maybe that will help. Again, it's a hot mess. And you can see I've got so much ink on my panel that it's running off the edges, and I just have this sitting on a little plastic grocery sack. So I thought, well, maybe if I get a the felt and the blender out, that would help. Again, black mud, not very pretty, I will say. So I thought, oh, I'll add some more ink to my felt. See, I seen some YouTubers pouncing it, and theirs looked pretty. Mine, not so much. So I'm adding more solution, and I'm just trying to keep going, trying to make something out of it. And this top left-hand corner, I'm kind of liking that. I'm finally getting it to lighten up a little bit, and I really wish this is not a bad look for me. I wish it would have stayed here, and I stop, but you can see that it's kind of starts pulling in some places, and I just have a ton of ink on here, and it's just making a big mess. So I decided to take a paper towel, blot it up, and see if I could salvage it somehow. And I finally get it to where it's okay. I think I can live with it. So again, it's got a lot of red in it, so I'm adding the red foiling. The foiling's beautiful. I'm hoping maybe a lot of it will stick, and it will make this panel look a lot better. This is my least favorite panel, though, of all of them that I did. But I wanted to show you guys that just so you could see kind of what to expect. As I turn it over, you will see the back is soaked. That's how much I had on it. And my little plastic bag there is just drenched. I had to get a new one. Okay, so we're on to panel number 4, and I wanted to try this little pouncing technique again, and I'm going to show you a little bit of it. I didn't use it very long because, I don't know, I had some felt already. I didn't buy the Tim Holtz felt things that really go on the daubers, so you can see me starting out here using it. It wasn't really getting that much ink on my panel, so I kind of just scrapped that and go back to the other way. But I just kind of wanted to show you that. Here is all 6 of my panels when everything is said and done. I'm sorry, the one in the bottom left, I already made it into a card before I realized I probably should have shown you all the panels first. So So we're going to go right into card number 1. And this panel I absolutely loved. It's blues and greens. And I wanted to try the alcohol lift ink. Again, I've never used the alcohol lift ink, but I watched many people do it on YouTube and it looks simple enough. So I am getting ready to ink up my stamp. Now I had used this stamp before, and you'll see a little bit later some of the black will transfer when I put my plain white paper in there, but right now I'm just trying to get that ink on my panel, and I'm giving it the CPR method here, making sure it's a huge stamp. I do not have a full-size stamp platform or a full-size MISTI, so I was just using what I had, trying to make it work, and I wanted to make sure that center got really well. I wanted to go right back in with my white paper so that I could use that ink that it lifted to try to create another panel for an additional card. And you'll see here again, I'm giving it the CPR method, really pushing down hard to make sure I get a good impression. And then when I take my stamp off, you will see where the black is on the stamp. So I wasn't that crazy about this panel. So I decided I would try to cover the black lines with a colored pencil that I had that was the same color. I also decided to color in a few of the flowers in this panel, and then I cut it out with my frame die, and I popped the frame up, and I'm just trying to position that inside panel, trying to see if it's going to fit and how it's going to fit in there. And I was struggling a little bit with it. And I finally get it in there, and I've got it glued down. I put my acrylic block on it just to hold it down really good so that it's nice and snug in there. I do end up adding some Nuvo drops to the corner of this card. It's kind of a plain card, but it's still pretty, so I was okay with this one. Now, on to my favorite panel. I had put the ink on, and I'm doing like I saw everyone else on YouTube do, and I dab up the ink and then I start rubbing. And you can kind of see some of the image coming out, but not very much. So this was a fail for me. I could not get the image to come up. I have not tried it again yet, but I will try it again. But this panel was just too pretty to toss. So I had some color black ink that I had bought at Hobby Lobby a while back when they were having their clearance sales. So I decided to stamp some of the single flowers in that on plain white cardstock. I'm going to stamp, I believe it's 3 of the roses, 2 of the leaves, and then 2 of the lily looking flowers. And I was worried about the ink on my fingers when I was doing the alcohol inks, but this little stamp pad I got everywhere. This ink stained my stamps. It stained my fingers. I'm a messy stamper, I will say. And if anybody knows how to get this ink off of my stamps, please leave me a comment below and tell me how. I don't mind my stamps being a little bit dirty, but when they're blue, it's just kind of gross to me. So if anybody knows how to get that ink off of my stamps, please let me know. You can see me here. I'm trying to clean it off with a little bit. I did go buy some alcohol, but that didn't really work either. It got it kind of clean. You can see a lot of it came off on my paper towel there, but they're still blue. You can see when I put it down there. I don't know, do all of those types of inks do that? Am I doing something wrong? I'm not sure here, guys. Please let me know if you know the answer to that. So I'm going to stamp these images, and then I'm going to fussy cut them out, just leaving a little bit of a border around them. So I die cut the things 3 different times and stacked them and glued them and put them in the top left corner. And I absolutely loved how this card ended up turning out. You can see the foiling in this photo pretty good there. It's just a great look. And I think the white really complemented the background because it was so deep, dark, and rich colors. So I think that makes the flowers pop. Okay, on to card number 3. So I wanted to play with the foiling a little bit more, and I had seen Jennifer McGuire on YouTube ink up her stamp in Versamark ink, put clear embossing powder on it, and then put the foil on top of it and send it through the laminator, and hers was beautiful. So I wanted to try this. So I ink it my image with Versamark ink. Here you see me putting my clear embossing powder on. You will see me heat it up, and I thought I was following the directions that I'd seen her and maybe several other people do. Here you'll see me heating it up. I personally love to watch the embossing powder turn clear. It's kind of memorizing. And I have kind of a cheaper heat gun, so it takes a while to get hot. So it took me a little bit to get it all melted. But I did finally get it melted, and I cut my foil out. I will tell you guys, I did also stamp a sentiment on this panel, and I stamped it upside down. I don't think I show you that, but I did indeed stamp it upside down. Here I'm putting the foil on it. So I'm cutting my foil out because, again, I don't want to waste any of it. I'm trying to trim it down, and I'm going to run it through my laminator a few times, and I finally do get it to transfer, but it doesn't completely transfer, and I don't know, I'm just not happy with it. So I decided to cut some of those images out of this that actually the foiling took on. And you will see here in a second, I'm going to just make my own little bouquet of flowers. I ran some double stick tape down the sides of this panel and put some more foiling on that. I do end up adding one of my little white leaves to this card, and I die cut out a thanks sentiment for this with the little shadow part is the teal color, and then the thanks is the white color, and I thought that tied it all together pretty nicely. Again, I wasn't really happy with this card, but it's okay. I'm not too disappointed in it. So now we're on to card number 4, and I am going to kind of show this really fast because there's nothing extraordinary. I'm not a colorist, so I'm just using my artisan markers, and I'm coloring in these images in oranges and yellows to match my background because, again, I wanted a fall looking card. And then I'm going to kind of fussy cut around them, and I'm going to add them to my panel. Stamp my sentiment. Be careful, guys, on the Yupo paper. The ink does not dry really fast, and it's very easy to smudge. And of course, yes, I had to smudge mine because that's just the way this card making adventure was going. I did fix it. You're probably not going to be able to tell. This is how it turned out. This is actually my favorite card. I just love the rich oranges and yellows and browns. I added some sequins to the top just for a little bling. It's just some sequins I picked up at the Dollar Tree not too long ago. And I think this one turned out great. I cut down the panel so that the white would show to kind of tie the white in the background together with the rest of my card. And I think I like this one. I like this one the most. So this is how all 4 of my cards turned out. I would say the 2 on the left are my favorites. The 2 on the rights they're okay. They're not my favorites. I'm not mad about it. I had a lot of fun playing with this kit. I hope to do a few more cards. I haven't done a lot more of the foiling yet, so I kind of wanted to experiment with that. And those panels, hopefully they will transfer well in my laminator. So I would love for you guys to join me over on Instagram and let me know how your cards turned out. Let me know in the comments below, which one is your favorite and how did you do with the alcohol inks? I had a lot of fun. I don't know that my cards are stunning, but I think they turned out nice at least. So I was happy with that. I had a lot of fun playing with the new supplies, and hopefully I'll get better as time goes on. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for stopping in to craft with me.